This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck as a 2005 Ford F250 crew cab short bed. It's an XLT, which is cloth. It's an FX4 package, which means that Ford put Rancho suspension on at the Ford factory. It's a 6.0 turbo diesel and it's four-wheel drive. It was a theft recovery purchased directly from an insurance company in Texas, and it's very ugly. It clearly went through a fence. We see these probably about 3 or 4 a month we buy that have been through a chain link fence, and it's pretty obvious that's what happened to them. Anyway, if you're looking for something that's pretty, this is not it. If you're looking for something that runs great, that has a nice set of tires and a brand new spare and a push bumper on the front and you can go to work with and not worry about hurting it, this is it. But if you're looking for beauty, you are in the wrong place. Alright, anyway, I'm going to walk around and I'll show you what's going on with it. It's got a decent set of BFGs on it. I would say the tread on the driver front is probably 30 or 40% tread. There's your Rancho suspension, which is factory installed. That's the FX4 part. This is what happens when chain link fence happens. You get that. And unfortunately for this truck, it had this push bumper on it because it just pretty much deflected it all the way from the headlights and the grills and the bumper, so you don't have any of that action. It's just real cosmetic. Passenger front's probably 30 or 40%. The only damage it did to it mechanically was it took out the emergency brake cable, which we replaced. The rest of it's all cosmetic. That's a supersonic jet right there. We're in the flight path of Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, so we get the jet noise all the time. There'll be 140, not 140, there'll be about 70 HD pictures of this truck. You'll be able to see in detail, and you'll have a little tool where you can magnify so you can see exactly what's going on. There's no sense in me pouring over every ding and dent because I'd be here forever. A tow package, lights, there's your new spare. Bed liner, toolbox. This is where I did the most damage. This is where we had to replace the brake line, the emergency brake cable on this rear wheel. But so it obviously wrapped around this wheel and did this damage to it. Like I said, we are not selling this car as a beauty because it's not. So be forewarned. That said, if a guy wanted a truck to put a flatbed on, all you'd have to do really is paint the hood and do a little touch-up, and you'd have a flatbed truck cheap, and that's that. Or you could just use it as a work truck and call it a day, right? And 141, 478. 141, 478, I'm sorry. There's your Ford stamp on the passenger fender, new battery on this side. There's your Ford stamp on the passenger core support. Ford stamp on the driver core support, and Ford stamp on the driver fender. That just shows you that everything is original. The front end has not been wrecked and put back together or anything like that. I need to see those Ford stamps. This is an original battery. That's a new battery. It's got one new battery, one original battery. There will be before and after pictures. You will be able to see the truck the way we bought it. There'll be 4 exterior pictures of it, so you'll know what it looked like when we bought it, which is basically the same as this, except it was filthy when we bought it, and it's not anymore. We just got it back from detail, so it's still a little damp, drying out. But actually, I would bet that before this thing was stolen, it was a nice truck, really nice truck, inside and out. They stole the center console, which is not unusual. A lot of people take them out, either to put in an aftermarket center console or have a pass-through for a dog or children or people or whatever. Not that children aren't people, but they're different people. They're expensive. Nothing really to look at back here that's too interesting, which is good. I like to report all the bad stuff. I don't like the tin on this car. It's got a bunch of chip peeling tin, so you might want to... I left it on because some people don't care what the tin looks like as long as it works. So, you know, you could get it home and just take a razor blade to it and call it a day, or you could put new on or live with it the way it is. All those switches work. That works. And everything's working there. You do have a manual. You do have a wheel lock. Tow stuff. The original airbag warnings sticker thing. Cup holders. The seat looks like it's in great shape. The passenger side looks really good. Alright, let me walk around the other side. We'll try out all of our other stickers. Stickers. I got stickers. Try all the other buttons. Same thing on this side. So you have the peeling tint. 5 minutes with a razor blade, or leave it alone, or take it to a tint shop. I think this truck was probably a really nice truck inside and out before they stole it. Now it's just a good running truck, pretty decent inside. I think I would remove that tint. I think it's gross. But you might not choose to. I gotta have this on here, I'll get a really wet butt. The seat's really damp. Right here it's just wet. So, fortunately it's almost 90 degrees here today in Tucson. Almost March. And with the windows down, it'll dry out in about 15-20 minutes. Sun on it. Looks like, that might be wet too. That looks like a spit stain right here. This is moisture. It's got power adjustment pedals. Up. Down. That works. Got tilt wheel up and down there. Let me get my butt protected against moisture. There we go. Alright. Climb up in here. Seatbelt on. Seat forward. Alright, you got cruise control. The air is on and it's blowing ice cold. Try the different settings. Perfect. Perfect. Let's try the radio. That works. Got a 6-disc changer. Cup holder I showed you already. Let's see. Turn that up. That's all that stuff. Boom. Alright. 141,478 miles. There's the whole cluster. Truck's been running here, just sitting here for quite some time. We let them run for about an hour before we even move them. Just to make sure we don't, after it's been inspected and looked at and inspected a million times, but the last thing is to let it run, see if we, for a while, let's see if there's any kind of leaks or there's any kind of heating issues or whatever, and there's not. 4-wheel drive low. So now we're in drive. That's definitely 4 low. Now we'll put it in reverse and 4 low. And that's definitely 4 low. Alright. Neutral. 4 high. Now we're in 4 high. Put it in drive. Boom. And 4 low. In reverse. Or 4 high in reverse. There we go. And to neutral. Back to 2-wheel drive. Let's go. Alright. Obviously you need insurance, you need plates if you want to drive anything. So if you're coming to Tucson to drive at home, we must have it inspected by the cops first. It's called a level 3 inspection. That allows us to get you a restored salvage title before you come or before it ships out. Then you can get plates and insurance. So if you're going to come here, that's mandatory. We charge $200 to do that for you. We get it out there to the motor vehicles about 7 in the morning, which requires us to be here about 6. Then we're required to stay with the vehicle all day if necessary. They don't let us drop them off any longer. That's why it's $200. 50 goes to state, 150 goes to us to cover a guy potentially sitting there for 10 hours staring at it. It's probably the best money you'll ever spend, by the way, whether you do it here or whether you do it in your state. Having us do it is probably a better thing, but you're welcome to do it yourself. Just make sure that if you pay by wire and ship and you want to do it yourself, that you get it done with the salvage title, Arizona salvage title, the bill of sale, and the truck, because that's all we can give you documentation-wise. Okay? So, it's $200 to restore the title. There's a $250 dock fee, and there's taxes. This is all if you come here to Tucson to drive it home. Taxes are 2% city sales tax here in Tucson, plus whatever your state tax rate is. So if your state tax rate is 3%, you're going to pay a total of 5% taxes, $250 dock fee, and $200 to restore the title. If your state tax rate is 0, like Alaska is, you're going to pay 2% tax, $250 dock fee, and $200 to restore the title. Okay? Pretty simple. You pay by wire and ship. All you pay is the agreed upon price. There's no tax, there's no dock fees. And you don't have to restore it if you don't want to, although I strongly recommend you add $200 and have us restore it, unless you're absolutely positive that you can handle it yourself. Okay? Deposit. Please make sure you get a deposit in. Once we have a deposit, we have a deal. We'll put your name in a banner over the truck at wheelkinetics.com. Until then, it is for sale. I'm going to jump on it here real quick. Make sure that you guys can see the turbo and everything. Great. Really quick for a big truck. I don't think it's chipped, but it sure is running good. Let's see. Lastly, this is not a new vehicle. I say this at the end of every video. I say it again. It's not just this truck. I throw every one of these things into this video. All right? I say this on every one of them. It's not a new vehicle. The Ford engineers, just like Porsche or Audi or Lamborghini, set a warranty limit of miles and years, and this one's well out of both. Okay? Why do they do that? Because they don't know what's going to happen to it after a certain number of miles and years, and so they just say that's enough. We can't afford to fix it at some point. Well, if they don't feel confident, they don't know what's going to happen to it after a certain number of miles or years. How do we? We don't. So if you need a sure thing that won't break next week or next year, this is not the truck to buy. You need to go to the new car dealership and you need to buy this truck in cloth for probably about 50 grand. And then you'll get the bottled water and the loaner car and 3 years of risk-free driving. If you like this car and you can deal with a check engine light coming on at some point, whatever happens dealing with it, and use the money that you saved buying it on doing a few repairs at some point. If you're not willing to do that or ready to do that, do not buy this truck. All right? That's my speech. Thank you for your time.